On the news tonight. Tonight, President Uhuru Kenyatta and ODM leader Raila Odinga received the BBI report in Kisii in the absence of Deputy President William Ruto, just a day after he implored the two to ensure an all-inclusive process. Also tonight, doctors warn the second wave of COVID-19 could catch the country flat-footed as the number of new infections and deaths double in just 20 days in October compared to the whole of September. Plus, a surgical success story at the Kenyatta National Hospital as a multidisciplinary team of surgeons perform a hand reattachment to a 7-year-old boy. And old boys of Gadhiruini in Kiambu County pay homage to their retired head teacher who they credit for their success in life and that of their former school. Ann Wairimu is our sign language interpreter. Good evening, I'm Abubakar Abdullahi and welcome to the broadcast. Now, the Building Bridges Initiative report has finally been handed over to President Uhuru Kenyatta and ODM leader Raila Odinga. The document was handed over at Kisii State Lodge this morning ahead of its official launch on Monday next week. The two, President Uhuru Kenyatta and Odinga, defended the document, which they say is for prosperity. Josh Onsare begins our broadcast tonight.
After the long wait, the BBI report was finally presented to President Uhuru Kenyatta and ODM leader Raila Odinga at the Kisii State Launch. The president rubbishing claims that the Building Bridges initiative is meant for political succession. He insists the report is meant to ensure political inclusivity and unity among Kenyans.
Wakenya watakuwa na huo uhuru, wakijua ya kwamba hata awe amechaguliwa nani, hakuna mtu ambaye atakuwa na uwezo wa kukunyang'anya haki yako, wa kukunyang'anya pesa yako, wa kukunyang'anya shamba yako, ya kukunyang'anya haki yako ya kupata kazi. Wewe utakuwa umepiga kura tu, mtu yako akishinda, haleluya. Akishindwa unasema basi wacha niendelee miaka 5.
The document will be officially launched on Monday next week at the Bomas of Kenya. The president says the BBI report is for an inclusive society that is equitable and creates opportunity for all, as well as a safe and secure country.
This document is not about this individual's presidency and that individual's prime ministership, that individual's this. No. This is about all of us. What we are looking for is a document for posterity.
So Kenya, the new Kenya must need to be born. And this is what we want. We said we want to bequeath a better society to the future generation. It is not about making Raila Odinga president or making Uhuru Kenyatta prime minister.
ODM leader Raila Odinga, while drumming up support for the report, accused those opposed to the report of misleading Kenyans. Deputy President William Ruto is among those questioning the report, which he says should have a robust national conversation.
Some people can stand and say, oh, waste of time. We need to address the issues of poverty, watu wa chini, watu wadogo, and so what? How do you address them if you don't know them?
Raila has been insisting that the executive should be structured in a manner similar to the Bomas draft proposal. Josh Onsare, TV47.
Now, Deputy President William Ruto skipped the BBI handing over ceremony at the Kisii State Lodge today. Ruto, who was at the funeral of Huduma Ward MCA Peter Kiiru in Eldoret, however, sent a signal that he will oppose the Building Bridges initiative. The second in command says that leaders should engage in decent conversation, devoid of blackmail in the Building Bridges initiative. He was accompanied by his allies who said leaders should also respect and accommodate divergent views.
As the President said yesterday, this conversation, this constitutional consensus that we are trying to build as a nation, it must be devoid of the reggae bravado that is divisive and that has the potential to create winners and losers, has the potential to create us versus them. We must avoid. And if we are genuine about having a national constitutional consensus, we must start with this discussion.
They should find a place for women in that BBI, because to me it doesn't make sense to remove women rep positions and replace with one-to-one at the Senate level.
Na tukimaliza kusoma na tuchambue, tutakaa chini na watu wetu tuseme kama hii report iko sawa, tupitishe. Kama iko sawa, hatutapitisha.
Hii BBI tungoje ikuje kwa meza, tutaiangalia, kila mtu asome, alafu sasa tutaamua. Na hii BBI kama itakuja vile mimi nafikiria, Your Excellency, hata kama wewe utaenda ufike mahali ukubaliana nao kuunga, mimi nitaongoza na ukampeni. If BBI is about uniting this country, then let us do it with humility. Nimwambie Raila apunguze hasira. We will converse as Kenyans. If you think or if you imagine you will force it down the throats of Kenyans, ile tuliambiwa na mtu mwingine ati tutapewa polepole kama kwinini, kama dawa ya malaria, hata ikiwa kali tumeze, tutaiweka kwa mdomo, tutatema ikiwa kali.
Now, the Building Bridges initiative is proposing for an expanded executive to include a prime minister, 2 deputies, while retaining the office of the president and his deputy. The report has also recommended the office of the official opposition leader. Take a look.
The report has proposed for a creation of Office of Prime Minister and 2 deputies in an expanded executive that will also include a president and his deputy. The Prime Minister, who will be the leader of government business in the National Assembly, will be a member of National Assembly and the leader of majority party or a coalition in the National Assembly. The 2 deputy Prime Minister will, however, be appointed from the cabinet ministers.
And what this document seeks to do is to bring us together and find out how we can protect that common territory called Kenya. Not for an individual, not for a community, not for the rich against the poor, or the poor against the rich.
The report further proposes the creation of a county-wide development fund that will be governed by statute, as well as increase the allocation to the devolved units to 35% from the current 15%. The Haji-led committee, however, recommends the 47 devolved units to be retained. The report has also proposed the reintroduction of the office of official opposition leader, who will be the first runners-up in the general election. The opposition leader also will sit in the National Assembly. With this, the order presidents at the National Assembly will be from Speaker of the House, the Prime Minister, and the leader of opposition.
We say that we take Parliament as an institution, National Assembly and the Senate. And then once we put that together, then we deal with the issue of gender parity there.
There is also a proposal to remodel the parliamentary system by including the government in the National Assembly. And in what appears as a way of enticing ward representatives, the report has proposed a ward development fund that will be 5% of respective county governments' revenue and will be used for development purposes only. Other proposals include the establishment of the Office of Judiciary Ombudsman to receive and conduct inquiries into complaints against the judges, registrars, magistrates, and other judicial officers. The report has also proposed the establishment of a youth commission to advance the participation of the youth in all spheres of the public and private life. A Kenya Police Council has also been proposed to be responsible for overall policy, control, and supervision of the National Police Service, as well as retaining the Independent Policing Oversight Commission.
Because if we can deal with that problem, we will deal with the problem of political conflict and bloodshed. Yeah?
On the Independent Electoral and Border Risk Commission, the report proposes the appointment of new commissioners of the office 60 days of the commencement of the Act. Tougher action on the involvement in corruption has also been proposed in strengthening the fight against corruption. Elizabeth Mutuku, TV47 Nairobi.
Leaders and Kenyans across the political divide have expressed mixed reactions on the BBI report on the day it was released. Here are some of the reactions from Kenyans in some parts of the country.
Lakini sasa kupitia hii, we want to devolve governments. We want the government institutions ziwe zimechukua hiyo power. Kwa hivyo mimi nataka tu kuchukua nafasi hii kusema county, we will study the document and we will be taking it to the public as a document that is synthesized, na ile issues ambaye zimetoka vizuri pia tuweze ku-clarify ili watu wazidi kuendelea mbele.
I encourage you as Kenyans to also read for yourself. We are a tiny country, but we are known to punch way above our weight. Let us not allow, ourselves to be demeaned, but someone has to read for you. Take the document and read for yourself. What you don't agree with, you don't agree.
This is now a benefit that is coming to counties. But by just having 25% coming to counties, and it is a reality, this will make a big difference. Even what you are talking about your salaries, because sustainability of these increases must also be.
Now, the IEBC has recommended that the number of commissioners be reduced from the current 7 to 5. In a report prepared by the Wafula Chebukati-led commission, the electoral body argues that a leaner commission will increase the efficiency and effectiveness of the commission and reduce the potential for factionalism within. The IEBC is also recommending that the appointment of future commissioners be hastened to ensure continuity, institutional memory, and succession at the commission. Still in that report, the commission has opposed the BBI proposal to introduce political parties in the selection panel for IEBC commissioners, or indeed allow political parties to directly nominate commissioners. They say that this will claw back the gains made to make the commission an independent entity. Now, thousands of grade 4 and class 8 learners across the country have begun their assessment test today. The exercise kicked off across the country, as Nanok Lorraine tells us now.
The assessment for grade 4 and class 8 learners across the country kicked off Wednesday morning, just a week after resuming their learning. In many schools here in Nairobi, pupils began the assessment on time, with their teachers saying they have equipped the learners to excel.
Maandalizi yalianza wiki jana tangu tu tulipopata taarifa kwamba kutakuwepo na mijarabu hii ya wiki hii. Kwa hivyo tumewaandaa wanafunzi kadri ya uwezo wetu, na tuna imani kwamba kutokana na kauli mbiu ya shule hii kwamba tuwe na mwanzo bora, basi wale wanafunzi wamejiandaa vilivyo kuhakikisha kwamba mtihani wenyewe unafanya vyema.
However, in some schools like Dr. Ribeiro Parklands, pupils began the assessment with much delay as teachers were faced with the challenge of accessing the exam portal, and thereafter printing the exam papers was a task.
We were not able to get the portal, and even going into the portal so that we are able to print the papers, it was a challenge. That took time. Then after that, our machine also developed a problem. So we really took a lot of time before we began our maths paper. And that's why I've said we began our paper late, and we have been forced to do our English paper and our composition in the afternoon.
The students seemed to be nervous in the morning, but after their teachers intervened, offering them counseling, they were able to calm down and take their exams.
When we realized that they were in fear, it's like they didn't want to do the exam. We took our time to counsel them in the morning, because they had to sit for the exam. There's no way we could have allowed them to go back home.
Students in Nyeri County were also not left behind. This particular assessment test have come with a number of changes, such as additional time for the mathematics paper.
The exam is different from the other exams. One is that the instructions for this exam is that a teacher is not supposed to take the pupils' answer sheet before the child completes. Again, for mathematics, this time is 2.5 hours, unlike other exams where we do in 2 hours.
The situation is no different in Mombasa County in many of the schools.
Apart from 2 cases of those that were found not to be near in grade 4, the rest, class 8 is 100% present, and standard 4, apart from 2, the rest of them, grade 4, the rest of them are present.
Class 8 learners are expected to complete their assessment on Friday, while grade 4 learners will complete theirs on Monday next week. Across the country, learners have turned out in thousands to sit for the examinations, with the assessment seeking to establish the strengths and weaknesses of learners after months of being out of school. Nanok Lauren, TV47, Nairobi.
You're watching TV47 News tonight with me, Abu Bakar Abdullahi. Keep talking to us. Your voice matters. Send us a message on 22047. The hashtag to use on Twitter is TV47 News. Time for us to take a short break. We still have a lot lined up for you. We'll be back after this break. Stay tuned.
Kila siku ya Jumatano tunazungumza, tunaulizana na tunajuzana masuala ibuka ya kisiasa.
Kuna Uhuru is not in Kirinyaga.
Maisha yangu ni huru na watu wangu wanyali.
Tulivunja vyama vya URP na TNA na vyama vingine tanzu, ndio tukaunda chama inaitwa Jubilee.
Mijadala komavu kuhusu yanayokuhusu, na zaidi ya yote tunakupa nafasi kumfahamu kiongozi wako katika kipindi Fahamu Kiongozi.
Yako kama mtoto ulikuwa gani?
Mimi nilizaliwa, sasa najuaje
wakati namuuliza maisha.
Kwanza ilikuwa tu ni jaribu kabisa kufikia pahali ambapo nitafika Nairobi. Najua ilikuwa ni kazi ambayo ilichukua siku mingi sana kufika Nairobi.
Kila siku ya Jumatano kuanzia saa 1:30 hadi saa 2:30. Ungana naye Elizabeth Mutuku. Usikose.
It is said that cooking is one of the greatest gifts you can give those you love, because nothing brings people together like good food. Join Chef Hamadi every Sunday at 6:30 p.m. as he teaches us some simple and quick recipes, only on The Throwdown.
You are the mighty God, the great I am. Hallelujah, hallelujah.
This and every Sunday, TV47 brings church straight to your home. Come, worship straight from your home as we bring you the Sunday church service at the All Saints Cathedral from 11 a.m.
Kila siku ya Jumatano tunazungumza, tunaulizana na tunajuzana masuala ibuka ya kisiasa.
Kuna Uhuru is not in Kirinyaga.
Maisha yangu ni huru na watu wangu wanyali.
Tulivunja vyama vya URP na TNA na vyama vingine tanzu, ndio tukaunda chama inaitwa Jubilee.
Mijadala komavu kuhusu yanayokuhusu, na zaidi ya yote tunakupa nafasi kumfahamu kiongozi wako katika kipindi Mfahamu Kiongozi.
Yako kama mtoto ilikuwa gani?
Mimi nilizaliwa, sasa najuaje maisha ilikuwa.
Wakati namuuliza maisha
Kwanza ilikuwa tu ni jaribu kabisa kufikia pahali ambapo nitafika Nairobi. Najua ilikuwa ni kazi ambayo ilichukua siku mingi sana kufika Nairobi.
Kila siku ya Jumatano kuanzia saa 1:30 hadi saa 2:30. Ungana naye Elizabeth Mutuku, usikose.
It is said that cooking is one of the greatest gifts you can give those you love because nothing brings people together like good food. Join Chef Hamadi every Sunday at 6:30 p.m. as he teaches us some simple and quick recipes, only on The Throwdown.
You are the mighty God, the great I am. Hallelujah, hallelujah.
This and every Sunday, TV47 brings church straight to your home. Come, worship straight from your home as we bring you the Sunday church service at the All Saints Cathedral from 11 a.m.
Kila siku ya Jumatano tunazungumza, tunaulizana na tunajuzana masuala ibuka ya kisiasa.
He is not in Kirinyaga.
Maisha yangu ni huru na watu wangu wanyali.
Tulivunja vyama vya URP na TNA na vyama vingine tanzu, ndio tukaunda chama inaitwa Jubilee.
Mijadala komavu kuhusu yanayokuhusu, na zaidi ya yote tunakupa nafasi kumfahamu kiongozi wako katika kipindi Mfahamu Kiongozi.
Yako kama mtoto ilikuwa gani?
Mimi nilizaliwa, sasa najuaje maisha ilikuwa.
Wakati namuuliza maisha
Kwanza ilikuwa tu ni jaribu kabisa kufikia pahali ambapo nitafika Nairobi. Najua ilikuwa ni kazi ambayo ilichukua siku mingi sana kufika Nairobi.
Kila siku ya Jumatano kuanzia saa 1:30 hadi saa 2:30. Ungana naye Elizabeth Mutuku, usikose.
It is said that cooking is one of the greatest gifts you can give those you love because nothing brings people together like good food. Join Chef Hamadi every Sunday at 6:30 p.m. as he teaches us some simple and quick recipes, only on The Throwdown.
You are the mighty God, the great I am. Hallelujah, hallelujah.
This and every Sunday, TV47 brings church straight to your home. Come, worship straight from your home as we bring you the Sunday church service at the All Saints Cathedral from 11 a.m.
Kila siku ya Jumatano tunazungumza, tunaulizana na tunajuzana masuala ibuka ya kisiasa.
Welcome back to TV47 News Tonight with me, Abu Bakar Abdullahi. Let's get to more news. And 2 secondary schools in Mombasa County have been shut down after 15 cases of COVID-19 were reported in the schools. The 2 schools, Star of the Sea Secondary School and Tononaka Secondary School, have suspended learning for 2 more weeks for fumigation. And Rin Kilemi with the details.
As learners in grade 4 and class 8 progress with their NEC assessment across the country, the situation is different at the Star of the Sea Secondary School and Tononoka in Mombasa, as learners have been forced to pack and leave their schools after cases of COVID-19 were reported in those schools. 15 teachers are reported to have tested positive for the virus in the two schools, with the Star of the Sea reporting 4, while Tononoka reported 11 cases. Learners from both institutions are, however, yet to be tested. The two schools will remain closed for the next 2 weeks for fumigation. Earlier this week, Health Cabinet Secretary Mutahi Kagwe urged parents to be on the forefront in ensuring the safety of their children.
The first line of defense has to be the behavior of the parent. You know very well what's going on. So you need to observe the measures that you know can protect your child. That's number one. Number two, in regards to the face masks, and the Ministry of Education, I'm aware, is working very hard towards ensuring that there is supply of water and so on.
So far, learners in grade 4 and class 8 have resumed learning as government continues to monitor the behavior of those already in schools before allowing other learners to resume. Andreen Kilemi, TV47.
Now, a total of 217 healthcare workers have contracted COVID-19 in the month of October alone. This is according to KMPDU officials who have expressed concerns over the second wave of COVID-19 in the country that they say could easily paralyze the health sector. Zainab Mohammed now reports.
220 days since the first case of COVID-19 was reported in the country, fear is seemingly engulfing Kenyans, with talks of the start of a second wave echoing from all over. The COVID-19 cases seemingly rising by the day since the relaxation of the containment measures last month. According to statistics from the Ministry of Health, in just 21 days, the total number of COVID-19 cases recorded in the month of October is 7,615 cases, double the total number of COVID-19 cases in the month of September that recorded 4,328 cases in 30 days. The number of deaths in the 21 days of the month of October seemingly higher than the number of deaths recorded in the whole of September, with October recording 147 deaths as compared to 134 deaths in the month of September. KMPDU officials now raising concerns on the rising numbers that could easily overwhelm the health sector, thereby paralyzing it completely. According to the officials, the second wave is already seeing a huge number of health workers contracting the virus, hence affecting their service delivery at an extremely critical time.
217 healthcare workers are so far infected in this month, against a total of 1,295. And this is attributed to several things. One is the disregard of the COVID-19 human resources for health protocols and guidelines by those in administrations at the county levels, where healthcare workers are being forced to continue working even when they have contracted COVID-19. This trend must stop.
The union now pointing a finger at the government for the relaxation of the COVID-19 containment measures, citing the relaxation and disregard of the containment measures as key factors for the stimulation of a second wave.
Would like to note with a lot of concern the rising number of COVID infections since the ease of restrictions. And what is even more worrisome is the continued disregard of the COVID-19 prevention measures by both the public and the political class. And so we urge all members of the public and the political leadership to adhere to the Ministry of Health prevention measures on COVID-19.
Elsewhere, Nakuru County has been recording a high number of COVID-19 cases in the recent past, with the county governor Lee Kinyanjui now saying 80% of the public hospitals in the area are full and will not be able to handle more patients should the surge of COVID-19 numbers continue.
Hospitali zetu ziko about 80% full. which means if the trend goes on in the next 2-3 weeks, we are talking of a situation whereby we may not be able to contain these people who are reported. So our request to all the people of Nakuru is to take the measures given by government seriously.
Zainab Mohammed, TV47.
Elsewhere, the Kenyatta National Hospital has yet again conducted a successful hand reattachment, this time round to a 6-year-old boy from Kiambu whose hand was chopped off by a shaft cutter. The surgery took 8 hours and was successful. The boy is now recuperating at the hospital, awaiting to be discharged. Mwangi Maina reports.
Benevolence, a teacher, a jovial, happy and warm-hearted 6-year-old boy, just like his name. His high spirits and excitement, possibly hiding the pain he has gone through after losing his arm to a chaff cutter a fortnight ago. 4th of October is a day his parents would wish to forget forever, when a cloud of uncertainty hung over their Githega home in Kiambu County. On the fateful Sunday morning, the young lad and his father were chaffing fodder for their cows before heading to church.
So he was doing the query of the chaff cutter, nasiaga kidogo, ikikuwa gumu, naenda namsaidia. So that is like a process we had that morning. Kitu about tumekuwa tukifanya na yeye as I teach him when we do it manually. Naendelea sana kumfundisha those manual jobs. So tukiwa pale katika ile hali ya nasiaga ikikuwa gumu na kuja na msaidia, I just heard him scream. Na kuangalia alikuwa anasema mom, angalia mkono yangu.
The day still fresh in their minds when they awoke an entire village with screams, wailings and cries.
And this part of the hand from the wrist ilikuwa chini. Yeah? This part, the right hand from the wrist, this part of hand ilikuwa chini. And that was a very sad moment for us. Very sad moment for us.
The young lad was writhing in pain as the parents were thrown into a state of confusion.
Wakati mtoto aliscream, alikuja kwangu, I was just nearby. So wakati alikuja kwangu, niliweza kumshika, lakini mimi niliona tu mkono, hakuna visa hapa kati. So nikashika mtoto, alafu sasa nika scream kidogo, nikalia kidogo, alafu nikaanza kwenda.
No time to waste. The fallen arm in a carrier bag and blood oozing steadily. The mother rushed with the child to seek help to access the nearest hospital.
I just got courage to take that hand and put it hapo karibu na nyumba, nikaona kwa bafu kulikuwa na kitu kama this shopping bag. So I just picked it, a blue shopping bag, nikaweka ile mkono, sasa nikaanza safari juu. At that moment my husband was just down. So nikaanza kukimbia. Sasa hata si kufikiria sana ni nini nimebeba kwa hii shopping bag, lakini ile nilikuwa naona saa hiyo ni kulash to the hospital tuweze kuokoa mtoto wetu juu alikuwa anableed sana.
The boy was rushed to Nazareth Hospital and within 2 hours he was referred to Kenyatta National Hospital, the arm in a cold box, where he was attended to by more than 20 medics in an operation that lasted 10 hours.
During about 16 days in the operation, he's had one more surgery just to correct a small raw area or wound that we had left to allow for the hand to heal. So that was done, and we are moving closer towards his discharge once that area heals completely.
Doctors say such a life and death situation can be salvaged if the patient is rushed to the hospital in a span of 1 to 12 hours of injury, with the affected body part preserved in a cool box whose temperatures ranges between 1 and 8 degrees Celsius.
As we see, this one is a matter of time. If you come early enough, chances of survival are better. The longer you take from injury to presentation, then your chances become even less.
Benevolence is still recuperating and his parents can afford to smile again after a life and death encounter. For Benevolence teacher's parents, all hope was gone, but after a successful 10-hour surgery involving more than 20 doctors and specialists, his hand has been reattached, now awaiting to be discharged to go home and continue with his normal life. Mwangi Maina, TV47, Kenyatta National Hospital, Nairobi.
Indeed, another medical milestone at the National Hospital. Keep talking to us. You're watching TV47 News tonight with me, Abu Bakar Abdullahi. Time for us to take a short break. But before we do that, let me go through some of your feedback. Kento on Facebook says, tuned from Kericho. Riziki Nzaku says, tuned from Saudi. Judith says, watching. Tabitha says, watching. Geoffrey Kosgei says, tuned here at Karen. Justus Wafula says, tuned from the Busia border town. Enos Omodi says, watching TV47 at 9 p.m. Anderson Mugendi says, I'm watching live TV47 News from Meru County as well on 22047. And Nixon says, to all my friends, let's individually read the BBI report before making a decision on it. Rhoda says as well on 22047 from Vihiga County, watching from Shiru Ward. She says, TV47 ni mambo yote, keep it up. Thank you. Keep talking to us. The hashtag to use on Twitter is TV47 News. Send us a message as well on 22047. Time for us to take a short break. We'll be back with more news after this break. Stay tuned.
Kila siku ya Jumatano tunazungumza, tunaulizana na tunajuzana masuala ibuka ya kisiasa.
Kuna
he is not in Kirinyaga.
Maisha yangu ni huru na watu wangu wanyali.
Tulivunja vyama vya URP na TNA na vyama vingine tanzu, ndio tukaunda chama inaitwa Jubilee.
Mijadala komavu kuhusu yanayokuhusu, na zaidi ya yote tunakupa nafasi kumfahamu kiongozi wako katika kipindi Mfahamu Kiongozi.
Yako kama mtoto ilikuwa gani?
Mimi nilizaliwa, sasa najuaje maisha ilikuwa.
Wakati namuuliza maisha.
Kwanza ilikuwa tu ni jaribu kabisa kufikia pahali ambapo nitafika Nairobi. Najua ilikuwa ni kazi ambayo ilichukua siku mingi sana kufika Nairobi.
Kila siku ya Jumatano kuanzia saa 1:30 hadi saa 2:30. Ungana naye Elizabeth Mutuku. Usikose.
It is said that cooking is one of the greatest gifts you can give those you love because nothing brings people together like good food. Join Chef Hamadi every Sunday at 6:30 p.m. as he teaches us some simple and quick recipes, only on The Throwdown.
You are the mighty God, the great I am. Hallelujah, hallelujah.
This and every Sunday, TV47 brings church straight to your home. Come, worship straight from your home as we bring you the Sunday church service at the All Saints Cathedral from 11 a.m.
Kila siku ya Jumatano tunazungumza, tunaulizana na tunajuzana masuala ibuka ya kisiasa.
He is not in Kirinyaga.
Maisha yangu ni huru na watu wangu wanyali.
Tulivunja vyama vya URP na TNA na vyama vingine tanzu, ndio tukaunda chama inaitwa Jubilee.
Mijadala komavu kuhusu yanayokuhusu, na zaidi ya yote tunakupa nafasi kumfahamu kiongozi wako katika kipindi Mfahamu Kiongozi.
Yako kama mtoto ilikuwa gani?
Mimi nilizaliwa, sasa najuaje maisha ilikuwa.
Wakati namuuliza maisha.
Kwanza ilikuwa tu ni jaribu kabisa kufikia pahali ambapo nitafika Nairobi. Najua ilikuwa ni kazi ambayo ilichukua siku mingi.
Welcome back to TV47 News Tonight with me, Abu Bakr Abdullahi. Thank you for staying with us here on the county's television. Now, everyone in life has someone they look up to, one they admire, one they would like to emulate. For former students of Gadiruini Secondary School, that person is their 86-year-old retired teacher, Gabriel Gaido. The students who completed their secondary education in 1992 say if it were not for their teacher, then they would have lost it all years back. Our Education Affairs reporter Sharon Baranga joins the old boys of Gadiruini Secondary School who met to celebrate their hero.
His short stature, spectacles on his head, stern look, and wiggling of keys as he walked along the corridors were some of the traits his former students identify him with. This is Gabriel Gaitho Kamandire, a retired principal of Gadiruini Secondary School. On this day, close to 60 of his former students came to pay homage to a man they describe as their hero. In the early 80s, there was nothing to write about the little-known Gadiruini Secondary School, apart from poor performance and indisciplined students. But the narrative of the school changed when Gaido was posted to head the school.
It was more or less disintegrating. There was no discipline, there was no what. Anyway, God is great. I managed to talk to the students in one way or the other, and they ran through the line. That's why you see them come here. It's a sign of gratitude.
In a teaching career that spanned more than 35 years, Gaido taught geography and history. For 12 years, he was a primary school teacher. At some point, he moved to Kilimambogo Teachers College before he served at Gadiruini from 1980 to 1992 when he retired to become a farmer.
I was very strict, anyway, very firm, and I'm a disciplinarian. But someone who is doing the right thing or what is required to do, I was very good to him or to her. And that's why they remember. But those who probably do not make it may not be very happy. But these ones, I know, they know I helped them somewhere. That's why they are where they are today. So I'm very, very grateful to see that, to see the fruit of my work. So they are my pride.
Thank you. Close to 30 years after his retirement, the men whose lives were impacted through him remembered him.
He was very committed to his work. He had passion. When I look at what he used to do, I compare it as a call. He was called to come and serve the people of that area.
We were able to join campus, a lot of us, and people were surprised. In fact, people started now scrambling to come to Gadiruini after that.
And he nurtured my thinking, and that is why I came to like history. Today I enrolled even master's history.
Gadiruini Secondary School wasn't known for churning out academic giants or morally upright graduates. It was the perfect training camp for antisocial vandals and miscreants.
And his message to teachers and students?
First of all, they should not panic. They should be courageous enough. And any chance they have, these students, we had their slogan at Gadiruini. Our motto was, seize the opportunity. So the opportunity they have, whether in the TV or anywhere, which can help them, to acquire more and more information, they should make use of these things. And once they go to the school, let them take the work very seriously, and they will make it. Yes.
And the highlight of his career?
When I meet my former students and I see the way they receive me, or when I learn that so and so was my student is doing this or that, is doing well in life, I feel that that's the best reward I can enjoy. To find that the work I did bears fruit.
Gaidho says for the 12 years he served as principal at Gathering Secondary School, performance improved as a number of his students were enrolled in universities. Strikes became alien and discipline was instilled in the students. Sharon Baranga, TV47.
Well, indeed, few things in life are as they seem. 86, sharply clad with a tie. Just a reminder of the disciplinarian he probably was. His students best speaking of him even in his old days. Let's get to some international but regional news. And Rwanda and Burundi have embarked on a journey that will see the two countries fully restore bilateral ties. This follows the meeting of foreign affairs ministers from both countries on Tuesday. Diana Iriza reports from Kigali, Rwanda.
Following closed-door talks between Rwanda's Foreign Affairs Minister Dr. Vincent Biruta and his Burundian counterpart Ambassador Albert Shingiro, the two countries agreed to iron out the differences that have plagued relations between the two countries since 2015, with a commitment to fast-track the process.
With my colleague from the Republic of Burundi, we discussed issues of mutual concern which have damaged relations between our two countries since 2015, and we committed ourselves to attempt all measures to ensure normalization of relations and stability of our countries. And we also are going to have other meetings which eventually go into details of these problems which have been in place since 2015 between our two countries.
It is the first time the two countries have officially met to discuss relations since 2015, with ties between the neighbors sued following the conflict that gripped Burundi, alleging that Kigali backed groups that opposed late President Pierre Nkurunziza's government. Rwanda denied the allegations, but relations between the two countries did not stabilize. Ambassador Shingiro said that the Burundian government is hopeful that the meetings which have started will be fewer and assure that ties between the two countries are restored as soon as possible. As the government of Burundi, we came here to express our willingness to work towards restoring ties which were affected in 2015. We want to ensure that the issues that exist between our two countries are addressed so that we go back to existing as neighbors and relatives. I have also told people who suggest that they want to mediate relations between Rwanda and Burundi that it is not possible because we know each other so well as relatives and don't need anybody to mediate us. We can do this on our own, and this is what we are doing today. Following the election of Major General Evariste Ndayishimiye in June, Rwandan President Paul Kagame said that Rwanda was looking to defrost ties with Burundi, but Bujumbura did not welcome the suggestion right away. However, the meeting in Nemba on the request of Burundi has opened the door.
Sports, brought to you